Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Tonight, we are going to be taking a look at Sabrina Carpenter. I've been asked to take a look at her voice, and again, it's somebody requesting whether a particular performance is pitch corrected or auto-tuned, anything like that. And generally what I do with every video that I don't show you guys, I just show you the analysis that happens at the end of all of the preparations that I do and all of the other videos that I watch. I tend to get a general feel for the person's voice by watching lots of different performances. And because I can hear pitch correction and auto-tune, it means that if I start watching one and it's been pitch corrected or auto-tuned, then I'll go on to another one to try and find a live vocal. Because once I've got that as a baseline, it means that I've got a good idea of the singer's pitch accuracy. She has been requested for me to take a look at on my channel in the past, so I can roll an analysis into the other request that's happened and, roll them both into one. So for reference, as always, the links to all of these videos are in the description below if you want to cross-reference them yourselves or just watch the performances. And it's going to be slightly smaller on the screen because we're going to have 3 pitch monitors on screen at the same time. The reason for that is I want to start with this. And this is from the BBC Live Lounge. It's Radio 1, BBC Radio 1 here in the UK. And it's a performance by Sabrina. So we'll jump into this isolated vocal.
I know I have good judgment. I know I have good taste. It's funny and it's ironic that only I feel that way.
So straight off the bat, we have got some really heavy pitch correction going on here, borderline auto-tune. So when we just have a little look through, and again, look out for this just over the lines all the time. And especially on these held notes where, we are totally over that line, and I'm just going to move it forward, have a listen.
I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy.
So all this kind of stuff. And again, this is something that we would watch here in the UK, and it's called Live Lounge. So people tuning into this, I'm sure wouldn't be expecting any tuning on the voice.
Whatever devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I tell them it's just your...
And it's always this kind of thing that just sticks out when a singer slides up and hits the E4 absolutely bang on. So anybody watching this performance who can hear A440 standard pitch equal temperament would be able to tell that, oh, this has been pitch corrected, or it's just auto-tuned live. And they might not listen to Sabrina anymore because they think, well, yeah, I'm not interested in that kind of artist. So now I'm going to bring on screen the performance from The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and I'll take this back to the beginning. I've muted the Live Lounge here. Let's just have a look at this.
It's funny and it's ironic that only I feel that way. I promise them that you're different.
And this is the audio now from The Tonight Show. So people in the USA are going to be watching this. I'll move it forward a little bit.
Heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy. Whatever devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I tell them it's just your culture, and everyone rolls their eyes, yeah.
And yeah, that correction to the kind of A3 and all of this is just way too over the top. But it's not so over the top like you would have maybe 10 years ago because the technology's moved on, even for live auto-tune now, where, as we've seen with those Taylor Swift performances, it's not always going to be over the line because there's a differential that's now programmed into it. What we have here are 2 performances that you can see in the UK and in the USA that are both heavily pitch corrected. Now, this is the problem with today's music industry. You might listen to that and you think, right, well, I'm not interested in this kind of artist, so I'm going to move on. This is GOV Ball New York City, not something that I'm familiar with, but let's have a listen to this.
I have to charge me. I know I have to taste. It's funny and it's ironic, but only I feel that way.
Now, this is crowd shot footage, by the way, because it's from a live performance. And you could say that, well, we've hit a line here we've hit a line here and we've hit a line here. Let's listen
Promise
on.
them that you're different, and everyone makes mistakes. Just don't. I heard that you're an actor, so it's like a stand-up guy. Whatever devil's inside.
And now, all of a sudden, the pitch starts becoming what I would consider a lot more random, that we're not on these lines anymore. I'll let it play
Don't
through.
let 'em out tonight.
Especially there, and the way that we went up sharp of the E4, we came down sharp of the D4. So this is now a vocal that doesn't have the same sound to it, no, certainly not the same pitch accuracy as those first two performances, but even kind of the first verse. Let's listen on.
Tell them it's just your culture, and everyone rolls their eyes. Yeah, I know. All I'm asking, baby. Please, 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 don't prove I'm right.
And now we've got lines here that aren't being hit. We're between lines here, but then we're over the B4. So we were really accurate in the first verse. Then the second verse, we were less accurate. And now in the chorus, we're a combination of the two. And I'm going to say now that I think this is actually Sabrina's real voice. This is her pitch accuracy, that she can be, I mean, technically ever so slightly flat here, but it looks like it's over the line, you know, if you're far enough away. But she, I think, does have the ability to be this accurate.
And please, 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 don't bring me.
Because this is what happens with great singers with great pitch. I mean, here's slightly flat of the D5, but really accurate, ever so slightly below the C sharp 5, but you're not really going to notice that at all. And then we've got this actually flat of the B4. But we've seen this with great voices in the past, that you do have a kind of reset that happens. So I'll let it play on.
The tears when I just did my makeup so nice.
And really accurate here and here. But let's just go back a little bit. Look at the way that we're between notes here. Actually flat, and we drifted sharp. So I think Sabrina actually has a really accurate voice. We're actually hearing her vocal here live. But I think sometimes it might be tuned. And, you know, whether it's a live auto-tune thing and maybe it's turned on and then it's turned off, it's very difficult to say. When you're working with somebody that has this kind of natural pitch, you know, and is this good, the only time that you're really going to notice it is when it is literally stuck and going in a straight line, either over the line or ever so slightly flat and sharp. But when you get a lot of variation like this, I would say that this is, yeah, absolutely a live vocal. So I'm just going to move this forward a little bit. And I mean, even here we get a nice variation going sharp and flat. Let's have a listen.
Well, I have a fun idea, babe. Maybe just stay inside. I know you're crazy.
Yeah, absolutely live here.
And we can live so happily if no one's here with me.
And there, I'm just going to take that back. Because there, again, we've gone back to sounding like there's a little bit of processing on that. So that, yeah, this is actually quite strange because we've got a bit of a mix of two going here. And that was definitely live. Yeah. So this is what I mean, in that it's almost like we're really accurate in sections, and then we're less accurate, but still I would say it's her natural voice. And even after that, she's now, yeah, ever so slightly flat, but then over the line, over the line, over the line. Well, ascending to the line. So a little bit flat here. This still backs up my theory that that it's going to come in and out of being really accurate, not only because she's really accurate vocally anyway, but if they are going to be turning on anything live, that's where you'll then see it be a lot more strict to the lines.
Don't bring me into tears when I'm just in my makeup so nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is absolutely live. You can tell a live vocal immediately, but let me just roll it on a little bit further.
I'd be stupid, don't do it in front of me.
Yeah.
If you don't write in my music, don't make me hate you perfectly.
See, again, it's great because we have this contradiction. Again, it's backing up my theory that I'm having. Again, it's building up a bass line for somebody's voice and trying to hear it in and around bits that you think, well, it sounds like that might be just going through auto-tune, but then seeing this kind of thing of being straight over that C#5 and here directly over the B4, it makes no sense for them to kind of leave the other parts in.
If you don't write in my
This kind of thing of being, between notes.
music, don't make me hate you perfectly.
I don't think that they're going to be literally turning on and turning off auto-tune this quickly, between literally words. This is her just being really accurate.
Please, 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 please.
There, I mean, and at the end here, I mean, again, this is really accurate now over the D4, over the F#4, over the G#4, over the A4, over the B4. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say whether they might be using something live and it's just not being used all the time. But I still think she's got a really accurate voice. So this was the actual video that I was sent for this analysis. The other stuff that I've shown you is just my background research to get an idea of what's going on. So we had those two performances that were definitely pitch corrected, borderline auto-tuned. We had that other performance that just seemed live but might have had something coming in and out. Now this is from the Tiny Desk Concert channel, or the channel that has this, which I've looked at a few of these performances before, and they tend to be stripped back without anything really going on. So let's have a listen.
I know I have good judgment. I know I have good taste. It's funny and it's ironic.
And you can tell straight away here, obviously because it's not crowd shot footage, we get a really nice isolated vocal. But having a look here, the way that we started a little bit sharp of the C#4, then came down, and then we're bang on here.
No, I have good taste.
And then look at this. This is actually a C#4 that she's singing twice, actually 3 times. And you can see how she hits this pitch in different places on each of the times that she goes to it. So straight away you say, well, this doesn't sound or look auto-tuned. It doesn't sound post-pitch corrected yet either.
It's funny and it's ironic.
And look at the way that we're clearly sharp there, sharp again, and flat.
That only I feel that way. I promise them that you're...
But this is still really accurate. I mean, over the D4, the C#4 here, E4, pretty good. And then bang over the D4, and now just sharp of the C#4. And I think, compared to what we've listened to so far, you'd say that this isn't a bad voice. This isn't somebody who can't hit pitches. This is, just listening to it, really accurate.
Different, and everyone makes mistakes, but just...
And again here, ever so slightly sharp, but pretty much nailing the C#4.
Don't. Well, I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy. Whatever devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I tell them it...
So yeah, I mean, I can tell why people have maybe asked me to take a look at this, because if people do their own analysis, which people do now, and they use the links that I provide in the comment section to my videos to cross-reference things if they want to. This kind of thing, I think, because I've done this for so many years, it's clear to me when it's a live vocal and when it has been manipulated. So in those other live performances, yeah, there's a bit of a question mark about it. But with this, what we've had hundreds of times on the channel with great voices is that they come in sometimes over these lines and you'll always get a reset. You'll always be ever so slightly, flat here and flat. It's never always over the lines unless it is being calibrated to the lines. Let's listen on.
It's just your culture, and everyone rolls their eyes, yeah.
And look at that, the way that we were between lines and ascended to the B3 and actually went sharp. I mean, there's so much expression in this, and the way that she's got this really fast vibrato that's really subtle.
Yeah, I know.
It's subtle, but yeah, really fast. So that's another thing, that because it covers so little pitch, it means that pitch accuracy is absolutely fundamental with this kind of voice.
All I'm asking, baby, please, please, please.
And I mean, sounds great. Look at the way that we started sharp at the C sharp 5, came down, slightly sharp at the B4, and ascended to the A4.
Don't prove I'm right.
Again, super accurate here, ever so slightly sharp, came down and then went up again.
And please, 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 don't bring me.
I mean, that is just super accurate there. You could say D5 just went a little bit flat, bang on, and then pretty much bang on, maybe a little bit sharp. So again, even though we're dealing with somebody here who has this kind of accuracy, when comparing it to those other performances, obviously the pitch corrected ones, the TV ones and that radio performance are so obviously over the lines, you can tell straight away. But then the live performances, I would say, were maybe a little bit more accurate than this in the parts where they were just a lot more accurate. And then we had parts where it was actually not very accurate. So I think with Sabrina, if you are going to go and watch her live, from what I've seen and this Tiny Desk concert, I think you are going to get a live vocal. And when I say that, I mean unedited, because she has the ability to do it. It would be a huge shame, I think, if she is using auto-tune live or does use it, because she absolutely doesn't need to.
Don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Heartbreak is one thing.
But anyway, yeah, so this is the performance that I was asked to look at. And yeah, this is just, for me, a really accurate voice that will look like it's over the lines a lot of the time, but she has the ability to do it. This doesn't sound edited at all. And there's the reset. I say so flat at the G sharp 4. It sounds great, but when I'm looking at it, and when we're looking at it, you can say that is significantly flat of the G sharp 4, which would be edited. Classic giveaway here, perfectly over the B4, and then at the end, we just drift off. Let's have a listen to that.
Well, I have a fun idea, babe. Maybe just stay inside. I know you're craving some fresh air, but the ceiling fan is so nice, and we could live so happily.
And, I mean, just to throw it out there, that this is, a totally live vocal. It's unedited. She's just this good. In this video, I've shown you that people watching a performance of hers that is live, or labelled as live on Live Lounge, has been heavily edited from a pitch perspective, as has a live performance from The Tonight Show over in the USA. So it is so difficult for people to know when somebody is actually good and when they are tuned, because Sabrina is this good. She doesn't need any tuning, but she is being tuned in live performances. So for the people that can hear tuning, obviously they're going to say, oh, I don't like that singer because she can't hit pitches accurately. She needs auto-tune. She needs pitch correction. But ironically, she doesn't. She's actually really good. But yeah, anyway, there we have it. I was just asked to take a look at this one video, but I wanted to showcase those other ones so that it gave you a good idea of Sabrina, how she might appear on TV. and then actually performing live, where we can tell definitely there was a live vocal happening, and then this Tiny Desk concert, which is a live vocal as well. So anyway, thank you guys for requesting this particular video for tonight, and keep the suggestions and requests coming in the comment section below. As always, let me know what you guys think, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!